right. So everybody come to your comfortable seated position. This is where we're going to start. I took two yoga classes this weekend. It was quite lovely. So it was a little inspiring to be in person in taking a yoga class instead of teaching one. So go ahead and find your sit bones, rocking side to side, or maybe moving in a circle. And then when you find both of those sit bones down in the ground, I want you to think about growing nice and tall. Your spine is straight. Inhale, and then exhale, let your shoulders drop away from you. Breathe in, fill your body up with air. And then exhale, relax everything down. Breathe in deeply, filling your belly and your rib cage up with air, feeling them expand side to side, front to back. And then exhale it all out. One more big inhale. And then exhale everything out. Take a moment to acknowledge your body and how you're feeling. Think about what you're going to accomplish in the next hour. And then let go of all expectations. Reach your fingers out to the side, bringing them up to shoulder height so your arms are in a straight T position. Breathe here, reach your fingers away. Find strength in holding your arms upright. And now we're going to bring them up. We're going to hold them up overhead, reaching up. You might find some engagement in your lower belly, but check in that you didn't arch your spine. So we're not back bending. We're still sitting up nice and tall. And now we're going to slowly drop our fingers down in front of us and then lift them back up and see if you can rotate them around to the back. So we're making very gentle, big circles with our arms. So sometimes you can do this with a strap or a rope. But if you don't always have one of those handy, you can still make these big circles, working out any kinks that you might have in your shoulders. And then reach your arms back up, holding them up here. Go ahead and twirl your wrists. Maybe adding some finger wiggles into it. And then switch the direction. Nice. Reach your arms strong back up. So you're finding engagement through your arm muscles. And now rotate your palms to me. So you want to give me a high five. And then bring the right hand down to the mat. Reach the left arm straight up. Get taller. And when you're at your tallest, then start to bend over to your right. Nice. Lengthen out your right arm so you're pressing the mat away from you, straightening that arm. And now see if you can add a little bit of a rotation. Slowly start to gaze up at your left elbow. Breathe here. Come back to center, bring both arms up, straight up overhead. Breathe here. And now reach the right arm up high as the left hand comes down by your side. Reach up taller and then exhale, bend over to the left. Try and keep your left arm straight so you're pressing the mat away from you, finding space on both sides of your body. Breathe here, exhale, get a little bit longer. Rotate your heart up to the ceiling. Turn your gaze up to your right elbow. And breathe. Come back up to center, reach both arms up, holding them up here. Turn your palms to me and open and close your finger and your thumb, making your little sock puppets. Notice if your shoulders creeped up to your ears, can you let them float back down and away? Keep your breath nice and slow. Now we're going to twist to the right, bringing our right hand behind us and our left hand to our right knee, gently turning, looking over the back shoulder. And now reach both arms back up overhead, twist to the left, bringing the right hand to the left knee and the left arm behind you. Breathe here. Come back to center, reach your hands up. And then exhale your fingers down in front of you. Start to walk your hands away from your body, coming into a forward fold. Letting your forearms, if possible, come down to the floor, letting your head reach down to the ground. Breathe nice and slow. Feel your back start to stretch and open. And then from here, you're going to start to crawl your way forward. Seeing if you can come onto your forearms, sliding your legs behind you. So you're in your Sphinx pose. So your stomach, your hips, not really your stomach, your hips and your legs are on the ground. Your forearms are pressing into the mat. You're spreading your fingers. And see if you can lift your heart open. Take a few breaths here. And then come all the way down to the mat, forehead to the ground. Slide your hands back so they're just beyond your shoulders, maybe a little bit more in line with your chest. Breathe in, and on your exhale, lift yourself up into a baby cobra. Breathe here. Exhale, lower your forehead down. You can place a cheek on the mat if that's more comfortable for you. And now come back to forehead on the mat. We're going to lift ourselves up a little bit higher, sliding your fingers out to 10 and 2 so you can press into those fingertips, deepening the back bend, opening through the chest and the collarbone. And then exhale all the way down. Turn the other cheek to the mat. And now bring those hands back just below your shoulders, forehead to the mat. And we're going to press up into an upward facing dog. So pressing up, lifting your thighs and your knees off the mat if that's possible. And then come into a tabletop position. Realign if you need to. So get your knees under your hips, spread your fingers, shoulders over your wrists. Drop your belly, open your heart, big inhale. Exhale, lift your belly button up, round your spine. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, round. One more, inhale forward. Exhale, round. Stretch your right leg behind you on your right toes, rock back and forth. Lengthening your calf. And then find stillness. Make sure your hips are even, that both hip bones are pointing down to the mat. Float your right leg up behind you. You can hold here. If it's too much, keep your big toe on the ground. Extend your left arm out in front of you. And if you're ready, lift that left arm up off the ground. So your core is firing up. So from shoulders to hips is working. You're balancing on your right hand, pressing your left shin into the mat. You're welcome to stay here, or you can try meeting your elbow and your knee under the center. And then inhale, extend back out. Make sure your knee is pointing down, that you're not turning your leg out as you connect and extend. Exhale, extend, exhale, extend. Lower your hand back down. Bring your toes back down to the mat and then slide your toe over to the left, looking over your left shoulder. Breathe here. Return your right foot behind you. Return your right knee. Sit back. Waggle, roll your wrists. Come into a child's pose. Just take a moment, take a breath. And then we'll meet back in our tabletop position. Float the left leg back. Rock back and forth over that left leg. Find your center. Start to float your left leg up. Hold the leg. Big toe pointing down, knee pointing down, hips even. Float the right arm forward and up. Stay here or exhale, bring the knee to the elbow. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen out. Lower your right hand, lower your left toes, slide them over to the right, and look over your right shoulder. Breathing here. Return your leg back, come back to your tabletop, take a child's pose. Come off your wrist if you need to. Maybe you want to turn your fingers towards you, giving your wrists a little bit of an extra stretch. Return your fingers to the front of the mat. Come back to tabletop from wherever you might have been. Curl your toes and peel your hips up, coming into your downward facing dog. Breathe here as you lengthen your spine. Reach your heels down. Pointer fingers pointing forward. Spread those fingers away. One more breath here. And now we're going to bring our right foot up between our hands, pausing in this low lunge. We are on our fingertips. Our right knee is over our ankle. Slowly, to a count of 4, lower your left knee down, nice and slow. And then untuck your left toes. Reach your arms out and up, lifting straight up. Cross your arms, reaching for your elbows. So your right hand is on your left elbow and your left hand is on your right elbow. Press your elbows into your hands so you feel a stretch through your under armpit, maybe even through your chest. Keep pressing into your big toe of your right foot and the shin of your left leg so that you stay balanced. Breathe here. One more breath. Maybe let your hips sink forward just a tiny little bit. Release your hands up to the sky. Gaze up at them as you let them float all the way down to the mat. Untuck your left toes and step back to your downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Adjust if you need to. Make sure your pointer fingers are pointing forward. You're pressing into your knuckles and your fingertips lifting out of the wrists. Step your left foot forward, coming into your low lunge. Reach your right heel back. Lower your right knee down. Count of 4, 2, 1. Untuck your right toes, pressing your right shin down into the mat. Reach your arms out, coming all the way up. Arms are reaching up to the sky. Cross your arms with the other arm in front, reaching for those elbows. So it'll be the cross that feels slightly uncomfortable, slightly awkward. Press your elbows into your palms. Press the weight down to your heel and the big toe and the pinky toe of your left foot. Find your balance. Nice. The pressing of the arms really starts to make you a little less stable, makes you notice your strength. And then let your hips sink forward just a tiny bit as you release your arms and gaze up at the ceiling. Exhale, float your hands all the way down to the mat. Untuck your right toes, lift up to downward facing dog. Breathe here. Slide your right foot back up between your hands. You're in your low lunge. Lower the knee down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Untuck the left toes. From here, we're going to bring both hands to the inside of our right foot. We're going to swing our left foot behind us, and we're going to come into a side angle. You got it. Perfect. Opening your left hand up to the ceiling. Pressing your right knee into your right tricep. One more breath. And then as you reach your left hand down, turn your left leg back behind you. Place your right hand on the outside of your right foot. Lift your left knee, step back into your downward facing dog. Now you might need to adjust. Maybe you got a little crooked there. That's okay. Take a moment, realign, make sure your legs are centered, your arms are centered. And now step your left foot up between your hands. Lower your right knee. 4, 3, 2, 1. Untuck your toes. So we're going to bring our both hands inside our left foot. You're going to pick up your right leg, turn it 90 degrees. And then with your right arm, it's like you're drawing a bow and arrow up to the sky. So if you have blocks, this might be a place where you place a block under your left hand, giving yourself a little bit more space. And then bring the right hand down, place one hand. Are you okay? Yeah. Bring your hand on the outside of your left foot. I had my head turned away and I heard your ouch. I was like, uh-oh. Lift your right knee, step back to downward facing dog. Fix your alignment, pedal your feet, lengthen your spine. And now bring your right foot back up between your hands. Lower the knee. 4, 3, 2, 1. Untuck the toes. We're going to reach our arms out and up. Straight up this time. Bring your arms out into your T. We're going to turn to the right, holding here. Now see if you can bring your left hand down to the inside of your right foot. Reach your right arm up. Reach your right arm back. Bend your left foot, reach back with your right hand for the outer edge of your left foot, holding on to that leg. Breathe here, square your hips, and then release, bringing your hands back, step back to downward facing dog. Pedal your down dog out. Slide your left foot up between your hands. Lower your right knee. 4, 3, 2, 1. Untuck your toes. We're going to reach our arms straight up. Open your arms into a T. Twist to the left. Find your balance and then bring your right hand down inside your left foot, reaching your left arm up to the sky. Breathe here. And now if you can, reach your left arm back towards your right foot, bend your right knee. And if you can, doesn't happen on this side for me. See, it's okay. Reach back there. Maybe just a little bit. If not, keep your arm reaching up to the ceiling and then release everything. Step back into downward facing dog. Pedal your down dog out. Beautiful. Gaze forward at your fingers and slowly walk your feet all the way up to meet your hands, coming into a deep forward fold. Bend your knees. Let your chest relax on your thighs. Let your head hang heavy. Breathe here. If you can, reach for opposite elbows, coming into a ragdoll position, letting your chin come towards your chest and your head get even heavier. Gently sway side to side. And then come back to center. Release your hands, and we're going to roll up slowly, nice and slow, one vertebra at a time. Maybe you're thinking a count of 10 if you need something more structured. Coming all the way up, head coming up last, and then giving yourself a moment when your head is up to make sure that you're not dizzy, that you can breathe easily. Wonderful. Bring your feet to touch or wherever they're comfortable, coming up to the front of your mat. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step your right foot back. Pause here in your low lunge. Reach that right leg back, feel the stretch. Step your left leg back into plank. Hold your plank. You're strong. You can always put your knees down if you need to. And now everybody lower your knees. Bend your elbows, lower your chest and chin. Untuck your toes. Come into your baby cobra. Exhale down. Press into tabletop. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips up. Downward facing dog. Breathe here. Float your right leg up behind you, keeping your knee facing the mat. And then draw the knee all the way in, slide the right foot up between your hands, low lunge. Bring the left foot up to meet it, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, press down to rise all the way up. Palms touch overhead. Exhale your hands down through heart center, down to your side. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up. Palms touch overhead. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back with your left leg. Pause here in your low lunge, reaching your left leg back, finding that stretch, that strength, and then plant your hands, slide your right leg back, you're in plank. Now you can take a different vinyasa or you can take the one that we just did. If you're ready to lower halfway down to chaturanga, untuck your toes, coming into your upward facing dog. Exhale into your downward facing dog. Breathe here. Float your left leg up straight behind you. And then bend the left foot, coming all the way back into your low lunge. Step the right foot up to meet the left. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, palms touch overhead. Exhale your hands down by your side. We're going to do a little bit of balancing before we move on. So come to where you feel nice and comfortable. Breathe here. We're going to start with lifting up our right leg. And then we're going to cross it over our left leg. Maybe you can cross it all the way. Maybe not. Finding your balance with your arms. Keeping your arms in T, or bring your left arm under. Coming all the way in. Beautiful. Find something to focus on. Maybe you can sit your hips down a little bit more. And then unwind everything and shake it out. Just like let it go. Nothing to worry about. And let's try the other side. So you're standing nice and tall. You're going to sit down. You're going to lift your left knee up. Find that balance. And now if you can, cross the left leg over, and maybe you can hook the left foot behind the right. Maybe not. Reach your arms out into a T. Stay here or bring your right arm over your left arm. Sitting a little bit lower. Nice, you can do it. And then release everything and shake it all out. All right. We're going to move to the top of our mat. We're going to build a little bit of a flow. There is going to be some balancing. If you have a block, you might want it. Do you want a block? And it's like, yeah, I'll take a block. All right. So keep that block up at the front of your mat. And come to the top of your mat. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Nice flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands. Step your left foot back, coming into your low lunge. Come up onto your fingertips. So you're finding a little bit of space here. Reach your left leg back nice and straight. And then turn your left heel down. So we're going to lift up into our warrior one. Once you find that connection with the back of your left foot, lift yourself all the way up into your warrior one. Squaring your hips to the front of the mat, we're going to straighten our leg, open our hands out to the side. And then bend our knee, bring our arms back up overhead. Straighten and open our arms. And then exhale, reach back up. So it's like you're pressing water away, and then you're gathering it all back up. Hold here, warrior one. Without popping your hips up, I want you to rotate your torso coming into your warrior two. Reaching your arms away from each other, gazing away over that right fingertip. Check that your right knee is over your right ankle, sitting your left hip down. Adjust your stance. Maybe you need to be a little bit wider. Breathe here. Turn your right palm up, exhale back, peaceful warrior. Nice. We're gonna straighten our right leg. We're gonna bring our arms out to T, and then we're gonna keep reaching into our triangle. So if you need the block under your hand, that's fine. And now bring your left arm by your left ear, starting to stretch through that side. And if you want to test your core strength, float your right hand up by your right ear. Now, we're going to bring our right hand back on down. We're going to bring our left hand to our hip. Bend your legs, bring your right hand forward to the ground or to the block, and start to straighten your right leg. So your left leg is behind you, and you're going to keep your left big toe on the ground, and we're lifting the toe up and down. So we're prepping for a half moon. We're going to slowly work our way into this. Nice. All right, and now slide that left leg back, coming back into your warrior two. Breathe here. Straighten your right leg, turn your toes to the long side of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips, hinge all the way forward. Letting your hands come all the way down, coming into a nice forward fold. Letting your head hang heavy. And now bend your right knee, bend your left knee, going side to side in a lunge. Wherever this feels comfortable, moving through your hips. So we're going to walk towards the front of our mat, keeping our right knee bent, coming into a lizard. So both hands are inside your right leg. You can lower your left knee down. Breathe here. And if it's available to you in your lizard, come down to your forearms or maybe onto your blocks. Breathing here. Now I'm going to challenge you to slide your right leg straight back behind you and then lift both knees coming into your forearm plank. Pausing here. Lower your knees down, come up to full plank. Taking a breath here. You can take a vinyasa or go straight to downward facing dog. Breathe here in your down dog once we're all here. Float your left leg up behind you, slide your left foot all the way forward. You're in the low lunge. Hang out here in your low lunge. And then when you're ready, turn your right foot down. Adjust your stance as you reach out and up to come into your warrior one. You're pressing into the outer edge of your right foot, but your hips are skewing towards the front of the mat. As you straighten your front leg, you're opening your arms into a T and then bend back to warrior one. Straighten and press the air down away from you. Stay facing me. Yeah, there you go. Come back into warrior one. Press away and come back into warrior one. Holding here in our warrior one. Now we're going to twist and open into our warrior two. Gaze over your left fingertips. Relax your shoulders down. Bring your left palm up, exhale back, peaceful warrior. Straighten your left leg, coming into peaceful triangle. And now we're gonna float all the way through, coming all the way into triangle, left hand down on a block or on your shin or on the mat, right arm up. Bring your right hand by your right ear, find the stretch through the side of your body. If you want to test your core strength, float your left hand up by your left ear. Let your left hand come down, bring your right hand to your wrist. You're going to scoot your right leg closer in, and with your left hand on a block, you're going to start to lift and lower your right toe up. So we're thinking about coming into half moon, but we're not actually doing it yet. And now slide your right toes back, coming into your warrior two. Straighten your left leg, turn your toes to the long of your mat, bring your hands to your waist, and hinge all the way forward. Letting your head hang heavy. Align your feet if you need to. Crown of the head towards the ground. A few deep, slow breaths here. And now bend the left knee, bend the right knee side to side, nice and juicy through the hips. And the next time the left knee is bent, we're going to walk our hands towards the front of our mat, coming into our lizard lunge. Breathe here. You can lower your back knee or keep it lifted. Slide down to your forearms if that's available, or onto a block or a pillow. And now slide your left leg back so you're in a forearm plank. Hold here in forearm plank. You are welcome to keep your knees lifted if you have that strength and ability. Otherwise, lower your knees and then straighten your arms, coming into a half plank. Lift your knees up, full plank. And then if you choose, take a vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Take a breath here. One more long, slow breath. And then float your right leg up behind you. This time we're going to open our hip to the right, bend our right knee, twirl our ankle a little bit, twirl it in the other direction. And then draw the knee all the way under our body to our chest, all the way forward so we can slide that right foot up between our hands. Turn our left foot down, pressing into the outer edge of our left foot. Rise on up to our warrior one. Straighten the front leg, press everything out to T. Bend and lengthen the arms back up. Straighten and press everything out to T. Lengthen back up to warrior one. Press and straighten. And then reach back up. Hold here. Breathe in. Breathe out. On your next exhale, rotate your torso open into your warrior two. Check that your right knee is over your right ankle. Sit your left hip down. Hands are at shoulder height. Turn your palms up to the sky. Turn them back down. Turn your palms up to the sky, holding your arms out here in T, and back down. Turn just your right palm up. Exhale back, peaceful warrior. Breathe here. Straighten your right leg, coming into peaceful triangle. You should feel engagement through your waist, through your upper legs. And then reach the arms all the way out through your T position, coming forward, coming all the way down into triangle, right hand on the shin, a block, or the ground. Looking up at the left hand if that's available. And now reach the left arm by the left bicep. And if you have the core strength or you're exploring it, float the right arm up by the right bicep, squeezing your glutes. Let the right hand come back down, bring the left hand to the left hip. Let's explore further into our half moon. So bending your right knee, start to bring your right arm forward. Place it on a block or on the ground and float your left leg up behind you. Flex your left toes so they're pointing towards the side of your mat. Your hips are open. If you have your balance, start to think about rotating your chest towards the side of your mat. Maybe reaching your arm up into the sky. Reaching here. And now bend your right knee slowly, let your left leg come all the way down to the mat. You're gonna land in a warrior two. Nice. Straighten your right leg, turn your toes to the long side of your mat, bring your heels in, bend your elbows, come into your goddess pose. Find your strength here. So you can hold the goddess pose, or you can go ahead and do a little bounce, a little hip movement, whatever feels good for you in this pose. Nice. And then reach up, straighten the legs and the arms, cartwheel yourself down to a low lunge, step yourself back to your plank, take a vinyasa if you choose, so halfway down chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog is where we will all meet. Pause and breathe. Find stillness in your body, but find evenness in your breath. Float your left leg up behind you, bend your left knee, open your hip, twirl your ankle in one direction. Twirl your ankle in the other direction. Extend the left leg back up behind you. Draw that left knee all the way into your chest. Slide your foot forward, coming into your low lunge. Turn your right heel down, reach out and up, coming into your warrior one. Press the arms down, straighten the legs. Back to warrior one. Press the arms down, straighten the leg. Back to warrior one. You're moving slow like you're in water. You should feel tension in between your arms. One more time. And settle in warrior one. Without moving your hips, twist your torso open, coming into your warrior two. Your arms are at shoulder height. Your fingertips are reaching away from you. You're gazing over your left fingertips. Check that your left knee is over your left ankle. You're extending your right leg. Now rotate just your palms up to the ceiling and back down to the floor. So we're holding our arms out side to side and we're slowly rotating our palms up and then rotate them back down. One more time. And now turn just the left palm up. Exhale back, peaceful warrior. Breathing here. Straighten the left leg, peaceful triangle. And now float all the way through center, extending the left arm forward as you come all the way down into triangle, reaching the right arm up. Rotate your heart forward, finding the twisting your torso. Reach your right arm by your right ear. Float your left arm up by your left ear. Breathe here. And then bring your left hand down, right hand to your hip. Bend your left knee, reach your left arm forward to the floor or a block as you start to float your right leg up, coming into your warrior or into your half moon. Flex your right foot, point your right toes away from you. You want to start to open the hips, stacking it up. And then float the right arm all the way up to the ceiling. Balancing here, if it's available, use a wall, use a table, use a chair. You can always keep your right foot on the ground. And then when you're ready, bend your left foot. We're slowly going to come back into our warrior two, letting our right foot find the ground, landing in warrior two, and then straighten the left leg, arms overhead, heels in, pull your arms into cactus, coming into your goddess pose. Breathe here. Beautiful. Nice. One more breath. And then we reach all the way up. Turn and cartwheel ourselves down into our low lunge. Step our left leg back. Go through a vinyasa, knees, chest, chin. Baby cobra, upward facing dog. All the way in to downward facing dog. Take a breath here. All right, listen as I walk you through this next little flow. You're gonna float your right leg up behind you, coming into downward facing dog, three-legged dog. Now we're gonna step our right foot all the way up between our hands. We're gonna plant our hands as we straighten our right leg. We're gonna lift our left leg up behind us, coming into a standing split. Our left leg is reaching back. Nice. Now we're going to bend our right knee, drawing our left knee down, coming all the way down into a seat with our right leg over our left knee. Crossing that. Breathe here, get nice and tall. We're going to hook our left arm on our right knee, rotate our right arm behind us, coming into a deeper twist. Breathing here. And then slowly come all the way around, twisting in the opposite direction, coming into your counter twist. Come back to center. Slide your right shin onto your mat as you roll forward and extend your left leg behind you, coming into your pigeon pose. Come onto your forearms. Maybe bring your forehead all the way down to the ground. Letting your chest melt over your front leg. Breathing here. Reach that left leg behind you. Make sure it's nice and long and straight. Reach your arms out and away from you if that's available. And now start to slowly bring your hands back to the floor. Curl your left toes under, step yourself back into your downward facing dog. Pedal your down dog out side to side. Float your left leg up behind you, coming into your three-legged dog. Step your left foot all the way forward into your low lunge. Walk your hands a little bit forward, shift the weight onto your left leg, bring your right leg up behind you, coming into a standing split. So your leg is as high as it can go. Your hands are down on the ground supporting you. Maybe someday you hold on to your ankle, not necessary. And now bend the right knee, bring it behind the left one as you come all the way down. Right knee to the outside of the left ankle. Sit yourself down, setting up for a seated twist. Foot over your knee. There you go. Hook your right elbow on your left knee and twist, looking back behind you. And then slowly release, coming into your counter twist, looking over your right shoulder. Come to center, reach your hands forward, roll onto your left shin, straighten your right leg behind you, coming into your pigeon on this side. So adjust, I know it's an odd way, it's a different way to get into pigeon than we normally do. So take a moment if you need to. Lift your hips up, let them settle back down, straighten your leg behind you. And then let your torso melt over your front leg. You can start with your forearms. Maybe you have a pillow handy, some blocks. And let yourself come all the way down. Start to walk yourself back up. Once both hands are on the ground, firmly curl your right toes under and step yourself back into downward facing dog. Pedal your down dog out. Lower both knees down to the mat. Cross your ankles, sit back over your feet, and extend your legs out in front of you. Coming into a nice seated tall position. Maybe you need to rock a little bit side to side. Flex your feet up to the ceiling. Dig your heels into the mat, reach your arms up. And now exhale, forward fold. You can bend your knees just like you would do if you were standing. Letting your head hang heavy, letting your chin fall into your chest. Your arms come to wherever they come. So it could be your thighs, your knees. Maybe they do reach all the way to your toes, but that is not important. Get your chin to your chest. Let the back of your head relax. Let your knees bend as necessary. And now start to slowly roll back up into your tall seated position. Slide the soles of your feet onto the floor. Reach your arms out and away. We're going to go down to a slow count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Make sure your spine is straight on the back of your mat. Line your knees up with your hips. Line your heels up under your knees. You should be able to tickle the edge of your heel. We're going to take one bridge pose. So as you press into your feet, start to peel your hips up one vertebra at a time. Lifting them up, letting your chin move towards your chest. Reach for your hands behind your back if that's available. Clasp your fingers, shimmy your shoulders closer together to get a deeper back bend. And then release your hands and slowly lower your hips down. Let your legs windshield washer. side to side. Let both knees fall over to the right and relax here. You can open your arms into a cactus or a T if that's comfortable. If you want a slightly deeper stretch, place your right foot on top of your left thigh. And then windshield wiper your legs to the other side. And again, if you want a deeper stretch, put your left foot on top of your right thigh. And then bring your knees back to center. If at this time there's anything else that your body is calling for, maybe a happy baby, a cobbler's pose, whatever it is, another back bend, a plow. If not, extend one leg, extend the other. Let your arms move away from your body, and we'll all make our way into Shavasana. As you move into this stillness, I want you to lift your right leg up, reach it further away from your center, and then drop it down. Lift your left leg up, reach it further away from your center, and then drop it down. Lift your right arm up, reach it away, and then drop it down. Lift your left arm up, reach it away, drop it down. If you can lift your head just a little bit, see if you can extend your spine, and then gently lay your head back down. We're going to move into our stillness. Let your eyes close and let your body relax. If you're ready to come out of the Shavasana, start to gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. Let your head rock side to side. Relax your jaw. Reach your arms up overhead, coming into a big, long, full body stretch. And draw your knees into your chest and roll onto one side. Taking your time. And gently press yourself up into a seated position. Lengthening your spine, sitting tall, finding that place where we started. You can draw your hands into your heart center if that's comfortable for you, letting your chin relax. Take a moment to thank yourself for your hard work, for showing up, and for doing this for yourself. I thank you all for coming and letting me lead you through your practice today. Namaste. I have to get my notes. Lazy.